Right, who did tell me that there was a new Dracula movie coming out? Who did tell me that there was going to be a movie starring Dracula again? Who did tell me? Everyone. So I might as well review the trailer because, let's face it, I just saw it and it was awesome. Basically, I think they're focusing on the more monstrous and bat-like tendencies of the vampire and the origins of the monster. From what I can extract, it's going to tell the story of Vlad the Impaler. Now, if you don't know who that is, obviously you haven't done your history. He's a person from the land of... Okay. He was the Count of... Of Transylvania. Transylvania, that's a real country. In there, Vlad the Impaler earned his name by fending off an entire army of battle-hardened Turk soldiers from his small country by earning his name by impaling several Turk soldiers. If you don't know how he impaled them, he stuck a... Well, here, let me demonstrate something. Say if I were to take a stick and shove it up your butthole. Now, if your back was tilted like this, the stick would go and up your back, then it would be impaled. And he did just impale a couple of the Turk soldiers. He impaled hundreds, maybe thousands. I don't keep track. I think they're focusing on the more horrific side of Dracula. Now, here's some interesting things. The original Dracula was not vulnerable to sunlight, which is something that very few people take into consideration today. The sunlight thing was introduced in the very first vampire movie, Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror, starring the first movie vampire, Count Orlok. Remember the name Orlok. Instead of looking at all human, he looked very ghoulish, very terrifying. Now, I don't think that they're going to make a character who's, well, looking like that, because frankly, that's kind of disturbing. Oh wait. Now, I can dissect the trailer for... Now, I can dissect a minor story for a bit. Whoops. I can dissect what the story could be about, and most definitely will be. Basically, Vlad the Impaler, in order to protect his family and his country, seeks the world for the strength to do so. So he goes into a cave and someone gives him the abilities of a vampire. Where this man came from, I do not know, but he did give him the ability. But he did give him several horrific abilities, like the ability to turn into bats. Not just one bat, a horde of bats, and the ability to control bats. New Lord of the Rings, Now, Dracula Untold is definitely going to be one of the more epic vampire films. Now, I've heard of films exploring vampirism in several places. And so the ideas I've heard of people taking the vampire idea and then sticking it into their buttholes or something. I've heard of ideas. Basically, I've heard of several ideas on how vampire stories could go. Whether it's a small town fending off from vampires, an academy where where the day class are humans but the night class are vampires. Anime fans will know that. Or just a crappy romance story that actually shoves some very unpleasant memories up your butthole and out your mouth and into your nose. It goes into your brain. I haven't seen it, but I heard about it. Heard how bad it was. I think my sister may have seen one of those movies. I don't know. But I doubt she had a good experience. My point is, we should totally watch this movie. Let's totally do it. Let's do this thing! Now, it also appears that they're going to follow the story of Vlad the Impaler, or Vlad Dracula, as he's called. Yes. Dracula, his name was not something that the author of the original novel took out of nowhere. It was the last name of Vlad the Impaler, or Vlad the Third. Now, things to watch out in the movie. Blood sucking. That's the obvious bit. Next, very gory action sequences. I mean, it's obvious. Next thing to look out for. Partial nudity. Maybe. One last thing to look out for. Whoever portrayed Bard in the Hobbit movie is going to be in here as Dracula. At least I'm pretty sure that's him. Except he's not going to have that whole discounted Inigo Montoya thing that made citizens go all nuts. He's going to turn into bats and suck the blood out of every single frickin' Turk in that army. Shut up, Crow! Anyways, that's actually a shorter review than I'm used to. Okay, well, that's all. We should probably check this out. It's probably going to be big and epic. So let's do this and bye.